Good evening, I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. The 2023 college baseball season came to a close last night as the LSU Tigers routed Florida in the Game 3 decider of the College World Series by a score of 18-4. With 7 national titles, the Tigers now hold the second most of any Division I school, breaking the tie they formerly held with Texas, and now only trail UCLA, who remains at the top of the list with 12. Stepping away from Omaha and towards the happenings here at UNL, a current volunteer assistant with Nebraska women's gymnastics, Marissa King, has been named a full-time assistant coach under head coach Heather Brink's staff. King joined the Nebraska women's gymnastics program in August of last year, and in 2023 has helped NU to the NCAA regionals. Just earlier this afternoon, the Big Ten Conference announced that 108 of the University of Nebraska student athletes earned the Big Ten Distinguished Scholars Award. The honor highlights student athletes who recorded a minimum GPA of 3.7 or higher for the previous academic year. The honorees came from nearly all of Nebraska's 24 athletic programs, included double-figure totals in women's track and field with 24, football with 10, and men's track and field also with 10. Former Nebraska baseball two-way athlete Spencer Schwellenbach, who was a first-team All-American for the Big Red, was selected by Major League Baseball for the 2023 SiriusXM All-Star Futures game. He will join 25 prospects on the National League roster to face off with 25 prospects of the American League roster on July 8th at Seattle's T-Mobile Park. Schwellenbach is the 4th former Husker to play in the Futures game, joining Jamal Strong in 2001, Alex Gordon in 2006, and Jabba Chamberlain in 2007. Although there are no scores to report thus far in Major League Baseball, several games are just getting underway with 6 p.m. start times. The Reds will battle the Orioles, the Padres take on the Pirates, the Giants visit Toronto to take on the Blue Jays, the Marlins meet with the Red Sox, and the Brewers visit the Mets. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Now get ready for a full 2 hours of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Simon gets the shotgun snap. Huskers send a corner blitz. Simon step throws. Pass intercepted. Picked off by Miles Farmer.
Go,
to the 35, to the 30. Rope tied down to the 27-yard line. Miles Farmer's 4th career INT.
Yes!
3 eligible to the near side. Back to throw is Morgan. Stepping up, gets hit, dropped. Oh, he got drilled at the 18-yard line. Ty Robinson's 2nd sack of the year. I think he took his shoes off with that hit.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into this Tuesday night edition of Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. It'll just be Cole and me for the rest of the week. Greg Sharpe out on vacation for the rest of the week, and so it's actually going to be a while. We talked a little bit about this last night before Greg and I are back together, because I'll be out next week, and then he'll be out the following week. So we'll be doing some solo shows here for the next few weeks, but we've got some great content headed your way this week. We've got a great show coming up for you tonight. So excited for the guests we have lined up here. In just a few minutes, we're going to hear from the Director of Strength and Conditioning for Nebraska football, Corey Campbell, give a summer update. You might have seen the 10% that they've been posting about on their social media platforms. We're going to get into the explanation behind that and why that was implemented and why you're seeing more and more guys that are on that graphic each and every week. Hour number 2, we're going to start our series of our newcomer interviews. We've been doing it with Husker basketball, but today we're going to start our series getting to know the Nebraska volleyball newcomers. And up first is Caroline Jurevicius, the freshman outside hitter out of Ohio. father, Dad Joe was a wide receiver, a Super Bowl winning champion, also was a wide receiver at Penn State, played at Penn State, but won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Bucks. So we're going to hear from her coming up in hour number 2. And then we are quickly approaching, I mean, every summer, you know, we talk about it, but the Nebraska Football Road Race, a really special event that takes place every summer here at Memorial Stadium. And so the road race coming up July 16th, Chief Borders is going to be here in studio along with Kate Frazier from Nebraska Life Skills to kind of give us an update on that. Chief is on the leadership council, the leadership team for Nebraska Road Race. Every year they pick a group of guys that help promote and lead the way and getting it all scheduled and everything implemented for that and promoting the event. Every year they select a group of guys, and so Chief is part of that. He's never even done the road race. He's here, just got here this spring and is already jumping in on that. Chubba Purdy is also on that. Nick Henrich, who was part of the Leadership Council last year, and Ethan Piper, who is also on that. So Chubba Purdy, Ethan Piper, Nick Henrich, and Chief Borders are the guys that are on the Leadership Council this year. And so we're going to probably hear from all of those guys here in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, July 16th. So we're going to get more information coming up on that in hour number 2. But Cole mentioned it in the ticker, LSU, the national champion in college baseball. That's the last college sporting event for a long time. That was a terrible game. Another terrible game, Cole. 18-4. Come on, are you kidding me?
If only game 1 and game 3 were flipped, because game 1 was amazing, right? That was the one that went to 11.
Yep.
And then Florida mopped them in game 2, and yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, it would have been more epic if they would have had a closer game for the title. But anyways, what a year for LSU. They've now won the women's basketball national championship. They won the football SEC division conference championship, or the SEC division. The East Division. And so, yeah, they have had a heck of a year for LSU. I did do the dates, the math for the next college events that will be happening here on campus. So soccer is the first one. That's the closest one away. Their exhibition game, first exhibition game, Tuesday, August 8th, 42 days away. 6 weeks from tonight. So it'll be 6 weeks from tonight on a Tuesday night. Soccer will be taking the field in exhibition. 42 days there, 53 days from the annual red and white volleyball scrimmage, and 65 days from kickoff for football in the season opener at Minnesota. So, yeah, I mean, 6 weeks, that doesn't sound too long, right?
That sounds a lot shorter, honestly.
42 days? We can get there, right?
Yes, we can.
All right. Well, another day and another commitment for Nebraska football. This one, a wide receiver, Quinn Clark, another legacy that will be coming in, joining Nebraska football, son of Ken Clark. And Quinn is a wide receiver, 3-star, the #1 recruit out of Montana in the 2024 class, 6'5", 195. And he was another one of those guys that came to camp here and then was on his official visit this last weekend and committed today. But, yeah, got an offer after he came and participated in that camp. How many times have we've talked about that on this program? We've heard the coaches talk about the importance of those camps, how big they're going to be. And so, yeah, there's another guy that came to camp, got an offer. The 4th wide receiver in this class. So that makes it now 20 total that have now committed for the 24 class. He's the 4th wide receiver, but he did talk about that, you know, if need be, however his frame kind of develops, because being 6'5", 195, if he does put on some more weight, he could move into the tight end. It sounds like he's open to playing wherever this team might need him, but coming in as a wide receiver. But Dad Ken was a running back in the 80s, had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in 88 and 89. 3,037 rushing yards for his career, averaged over 6 yards a carry. That's crazy. And it still is in the top 10 for career rushing yards for Nebraska football. If you look at Quinn's social media account, he retweeted a picture from his mom, Michelle. She posted this awesome picture of Quinn on his dad's shoulders at a Nebraska football game when he was quite a bit younger. And so really cool. There's another legacy, and he talked about following in his dad's footsteps, but also paving his own path here at Nebraska. But that family feel and really believing in this coaching staff and Matt Rule and Garrett McGuire. So Quinn Clark makes it number 20 for Nebraska football. Carter Nelson, the tight end, one of the top tight ends in the nation out of Ainsworth, Nebraska. He is scheduled to make his commitment tomorrow at noon. And so we will know even more if there will be another Nebraska kid coming in tomorrow at noon. Currently, that class is ranked 16 in the country. So again, could continue to see that grow and get even higher with each commitment. The dead period started June 26th yesterday, so no in-person contact with recruits or parents. They cannot be on campus, but they can communicate, obviously, via phone, text messages, email, social media accounts. But that dead period from yesterday up until July 24th. So it's been crazy up here throughout the month of June. We always talk about how, we know when there's a big recruiting weekend, the music's blaring on the speakers and you're seeing the concourse all decked out. But we will have a little break in that for a little while. Coaches will go on vacation here for a couple weeks. And then, it'll be here before you know it. A little bit more, one more quick recruiting news note. Stone Saunders, who is a 25 quarterback, 4-star quarterback out of Pennsylvania, he has narrowed down his top 5 choices, and Nebraska is in that top 5, along with Georgia, Kentucky, Michigan, and Miami. But as a sophomore, threw for 54 touchdowns, 3,583 yards, as a state champion. So there's another quarterback in the 25 class that has Nebraska in the top 5. All right, going to get to a break here quicker here in this first segment because did a sit down with Corey Campbell, wanted to bring you that entire conversation. So we'll get to our first break here on Sports Nightly. If you want to be a part of the show, 402-413-2400 on our Sports Nightly hotline, and be a part of, if you want to call in, shoot us a text throughout these next couple hours, all throughout this week, as again, it's just me and Cole the rest of the week. So join us however way you want to get involved, 402-413-2400. The Sports Nightly hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. We got Corey Campbell up next.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet, too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. The only designated R1 research university in Nebraska, UNL's innovations power economic growth, precision ag production, tech breakthroughs, and future leaders in Nebraska. With the highest graduation rates and highest median earnings for recent grads of any public university in Nebraska, UNL is doing big things for our state.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Grant Hansen with Campus News. As worldwide leaders in ag technology, UNL faculty and students innovate using emerging technologies to improve yields and nutrition, and designing wireless in-field networks increasing precision in agriculture. Plus, UNL is breaking ground on a $7.2 million feedlot innovation center near Meade. UNL is doing big things for the future of agriculture.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for $4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for $4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
Farmers can make what seems impossible reality with a little hard work and ingenuity. They find solutions to reduce inputs and improve their yield. Valley Irrigation is no different. As the leader in irrigation technology, we deliver results and optimize your operation. Because when you have a vision for the future, you need the people that can make it possible by your side. Expect what's next. Expect what's possible from Valley. Visit us at valleyirrigation.com.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, you think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Hey, congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Well, it's a busy time of the year for the strength and conditioning staff in getting this football team ready for preseason, for fall camp, and then for the upcoming season. They've been around. They've been spending a lot of time around the facility, and so we wanted to get a chance to get a update, a chat with the head football strength and conditioning coach, Corey Campbell, on all the latest that's going place now in the summertime for Nebraska football. So just kind of started off asking him how the summer's going for this football team.
Summer's going well. Just finished up week 4. Today, this morning, guys they're working their behinds off. It's good to get out in the heat, and get running good to get the guys back into the weight room. This summer is very important. We had a really good winter, really good, spring ball. They went home for May during that May term, and then now we're back rolling. And I can't ask for a better group of guys. They come in and they attack every day because they continue to have the mindset of hey, be intentional behind what we do to get 1% better. What are the goals for a football team, and for you in particular, that you hope this team achieves here in this summer? Right. So, I may have mentioned last time, like Coach Wood and I, we get together and we do talk about goals, spring goals, summer goals, things of that nature. And our goals for this summer, number one, was elite conditioning and movement, right? And that's a huge priority, right? We want to be, the most conditioned team, whether we take it 4 quarters, overtime, second overtime, whatever, we want to be able to thrive under those conditions. Number 2 was assignment and technique mastery. Right? It is, attributing what we do in the weight room and how that correlates to their on-field play. During the summer, we have OTAs. Right now, every Tuesday and Thursday, so they get out and they're actually doing ND. They're practicing football skills. They have 7-on-7. So things that we incorporate into our training, we want to see that translate to the field of play. And then lastly, brotherhood. It's continuing to build that bond, continuing to build those relationships. Like those are the best teams when you have a purpose outside of yourself for why you push through, the difficult tasks. So for the summer, those are our 3 goals.
So with what you kind of implement in the winter and you were new and kind of getting to know the guys, how much is it easier, I guess, is it transitioning into what you're doing now, being that you've had that time in the winter, I guess, are guys kind of settling into the expectations that you and your staff have for them?
Yeah, like I wouldn't say it's easier from a work standpoint. Like, you have the ability to push them harder. Right, coming in the winter, it was figuring out what you had, and we did push them hard. But, I think they understand how we do things. So the learning curve wasn't as vast as it was coming in the winter. So I do think from that standpoint, it was, more efficient with our time. Like, hey, get in, knock the dust off, and then we're rolling. But you got the new guys coming in, right? You got the young pups coming in. So, they're going through right now what the rest of the guys went through in the winter. So, it's teaching them, bringing them along, and kind of training them up in the way that we do things here at Nebraska.
I did a bunch of interviews with the guys last week, and it was all interesting, kind of what their goals were as far as weight, putting on weight, losing weight, whatever that might be. How do you guys, you and your staff, go about individualizing what each player needs to gain and take care of personally here and during this time?
Well, yeah, it's a collaborative effort, right? Our dietitian, Kristen Coggins, she leads the way, on that. She, reviews their DEXA scans, see where their body composition is. We know what norms look like from a positional standpoint, not only in the NCAA, but in the NFL as well. So, that effort between myself and my staff, her and her staff, and then the coaching staff, on, hey, these are the weights that we want these guys to play at. We take those into account, and then we come up with a plan to achieve those goal weights in a healthy manner. Because you can put on weight, and not all weight is good weight, but we want to be systematic in how we do things, so that the weight that they do put on is good weight. So they can go and out there on that field and accomplish the goals that they set for themselves.
After the spring game, Coach Rule said that one of the biggest goals now for this football team is this team moving from a coach-led team to a player-led team. How and why does that happen so often during this time of the year?
Because I think, the coaches get away. They get out of town. They have, well-deserved vacation in July. And at that point, it's the players and myself and my staff and the support staff, right? And it's up to those leaders in that locker room to be the ones to hold not only themselves accountable, but each other accountable, because, they spend 8 hours a week with me, and the rest of that time it's, hey, what are we doing on our own? Because everybody in the country has that same 8 hours, right? We aim to be intentional in what we do within that time frame, but it's the work you do outside of that that's going to allow you to be the team that you want to be. So it is up to them, and they understand that. They're welcoming, the challenge of stepping up and leading and holding each other accountable and continuing to push the standard. Because if we're a team that, continues to raise the bar, like, the day before, that price isn't today's price. We got to continue to up that, and with that mindset, again, we'll really be the team that we want to be, or position ourselves to be the team that we want to be come August.
Why is it so important for a team to be player-led?
Because they're out there playing with each other, right? As coaches, we aim to create the best plan, but we're not the ones out there executing it. They are, and it's something to understand that the guy to the left and to the right of me, in front or behind me, he's pulling his 111th, and with that mindset, right, like, you have a group of guys who are passionate about the game, but also, have a certain love for each other, right? And when you understand that you're on that field of play, out there battling, going to war with your brothers, you don't want to let them down. And they feel the same way about you. So that's why it's important, because you'll give so much more of yourself when it matters not only to you but to those around you.
So a few weeks ago, there was a graphic with a picture of 10 guys on it, and it was called the 10, and there was the definition of compelled on there, and I think a lot of people assume that was the single digits. That's not the case. Tell us about the 10 and the concept behind the 10.
Okay, so that was a huge topic. Coach Rue actually hit me up on that. He's like, Coach, these guys aren't really understanding. So with the 10, right, we talk about the 10-80-10 rule. Right, and that top 10% being, your elite guys, they do everything the right way. They hold themselves to a high standard. They hold their teammates to a high standard. They do whatever it takes, to be successful, and they bring guys along with them. And that's where we aim for everybody on this team to be, and that's that top 10%, right? And in that 10-80-10 rule, right, you have the middle 80% that essentially could be swayed either way, And then, you have that tail end, that bottom 10%. And, those are guys that really don't understand or buy into the way in which we want to do things. So we want to be a team of individuals who strive to be in that 10%, but also bring others along with them. So when you see that number raised above 10, that's why we want a culture of, as guys climb, they lift others up and pull them into that 10%. Because if you have a team full of guys who have that 10% mindset, that elite work ethic, again, you position yourself to be a really good team come August.
Makes sense. So that's why the graphic, the number of guys have gotten bigger and bigger each week.
Yes, and that's the hope, right? And again, kind of talking about how the standard continues to raise every week, right? Like what was good enough the week before, that's the bar now. That's the standard. It won't be good enough, that next week. And we go into evaluation of that, myself, my staff, and we take a lot of factors into account. It's as much the weight room and conditioning as it is being on time to study hall, as it is showing up to your meals on time. So that criteria, is hard. And those guys, they want to be a part of it. When they're not, they're questioning, like, hey, Coach, what can I do, right? What more do you need to see out of me in order for me to be a part of that list? So I love the way the guys are buying into it. And, my hope is that list continues to grow. Because if we have a team full of 10%ers, we're going to be a tough team to deal with. Come the fall.
That's awesome. So when you first laid it out, and then people just continue to buy into it? Is that kind of how it goes?
Yeah. It's like they see the example that their teammates are setting, like those guys that do make the 10, their teammates are looking at them, and it's like, hey, what is he doing that I'm not doing, right? How is he impacting others? How is he influencing others, to work a little bit harder, to push themselves a little bit more? And then they go out there and they do that, and then when we talk about it all the time, when you as an individual set that precedence, and then you hold your room accountable to it, and then your side of the ball accountable to it, and then your entire team accountable to it, then you will have a team full of 10%ers.
Oh, that's awesome. Seems like just overall, the way that you guys attack the summer, it's very strategic. I mean, you guys are in the weight room, but then there's also, you're seeing the volunteer part of it, just the activities, the paintball, hanging out in that regard too. And we're going to talk to Gus Felder coming up, but I mean, how important is all of that to this time for this team?
It's super important, and I think that goes back to our goals, right? One of them being brotherhood. And, when we talk to our team, like the guys talk a lot about unity, about togetherness, and we're going to work hard, right? Like, that's the price of it. But we also want the guys to understand that you build the best teams outside of this building, when you hang out with each other, when you go do things with each other, when you learn things about teammates and hang out with teammates that you normally wouldn't hang out with. And so the more that we can put things in place to foster, that brotherhood and that unity, the better. And the summers, there's no more perfect time to do it because, the class load isn't as much as it is in the fall and in the spring, right? They're here working out, and, they got a lot of downtime. So it's filling that downtime with team activities, right, that they find fun. We get a lot of their input. Gus gets a lot of their input on what they'd be interested in doing. So now they have a little bit of ownership in it, so they want to show up and they want to do it. And then they expose, some teammates to different things that they may have never done. So it's a huge part of what we do during the summer months. And again, it's fostering the brotherhood and the unity that we're looking to foster.
One of the other big parts of the summer for this staff, and Coach Roll said that on his introductory press conference, that camps are going to be a very big part of what you guys do here. And it has been crazy. I've seen kids running around, all ages, all throughout the month of June. How has the first camp season gone for you guys?
Ooh, camp was good. It was good to see a lot of the young athletes, high school athletes, but all the way down to the elementary school kids come in here, because not a lot of times will they be able to experience what they experience, going in and practicing and doing drills in Memorial Stadium or, in the Hawks, right? Like the community support of this institution, and our program is huge. So it was cool to be able to let them experience some things that, the people that they watch on TV get to experience.
And you guys even found some potential Huskers, future Huskers.
Yep, we did, and that's another part of it too. It's as much, evaluation on our standpoint, as it is, wanting to be a presence in the community. Like kids come out and they put their best foot forward, in hopes to get noticed. And, we did, so we had some really good athletes come out, put up some good numbers, put some good things on tape, and, coaches took notice. So, camp season was good, and it's our first one, right? So, I'm only expecting them to improve from here.
Well, I can't let you get out of here without asking you, again, of course, about the new weight room. It's coming along, and you guys are still hoping to be in there by the fall, right? You know what?
I'm hoping we're in there. If we're not, hey, we have a really good weight room to train in now. My hope is, that we're in there as soon as we can be, but, not a minute before it's, built and done in proper fashion. So I'm excited about it. I can't wait to get in there, but at the end of the day, we still have a really good weight room where we can get some really good work in. And, like I said, a 45-pound plate is going to weigh 45 pounds, whether you're in a new facility or you're in the one that we got now. So
I love that. I went in there the other day. It is huge.
It's massive.
It's unbelievable how much space you're going to have to work with.
It's massive. I think that's the one thing I'm looking forward to, is the amount of space, that we have. And it's like if we ever needed to get the full team in there, we have the ability to do that, have the ability to not, be congested. So I'm looking forward to having a lot of space to work around in.
Well, you heard me say we're under 70 days from kickoff. How does that sound?
Amazing. The spring game gave me a little bit of a taste about what it'll be like to play in Memorial Stadium, but I have goosebumps thinking about going out there when we kick off in the fall. So I'm super excited about it. Can't wait to get there, but really focused on today, and just that's the same message we tell our guys, like, handle today, go 1-0 today. And our mindset is every day that we have training, is 70 days away. Well, for 70 days, we got to go 1-0 so that when it does kick off, we can go 1-0 that day too.
Again, that was Corey Campbell, head football strength and conditioning coach. And I actually sat down today with Gus Felder, who is the director of player development. And a lot of what those two guys are doing are the big part of what's going on for the football team right now, working out, and then they're doing a lot of volunteer service. And you're seeing some of the pictures that are posted, but even there's a lot of it that it's not even making social media. They're doing a lot of kind of giving back and getting involved in the community. And then there's just the other things that they're doing to try to build that camaraderie and bond for this team. So we'll bring you that interview later on in the week. He was awesome, wasn't he? Gus Cole, you were in here. You helped me record that. How great was he?
Yeah, he really was. They're also, like you said, this team is, and we also heard from Chief a little bit ago, they're so geared towards just giving back and wanting to do good, not just be a good football team, but just be good to Lincoln.
Absolutely, yep. So we'll bring you that interview with Gus coming up later on this week, but appreciate Corey spending some time with us here on Sports Nightly. All right, going to work at another break here on the show. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Take your adventures to new heights when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Lincoln. Explore our current lineup to find a luxury SUV that exceeds your expectations. Receive 1.9% APR for 36 months on all 2023 Lincoln models. The Lincoln Aviator, Lincoln Corsair, Lincoln Nautilus, and Lincoln Navigator provide a sense of elevated peace to every moment of your drive. Experience the power of Sanctuary in-store or online at woodhouselincoln.com. With approved credit, expires 7/3/23. See dealer for details.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get High Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue! SOS! SOS!
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corbin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400, the number to text or call. So last night, Greg and I got into a big discussion about NIL and the kind of how it's gotten, it seems like a little bit out of hand, and how a lot of it is kind of hinders on the different states and the NIL legislation, the types of laws that are in place on a state-by-state basis. And we're seeing states kind of pass laws to kind of keep up with the times and maybe get ahead in NIL regards. And over the past few months, we've seen multiple states pass NIL legislation, amendments to what's already in place. Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, 3 of those states. But in Texas in particular, a lot of the changes, the amendments to the legislation basically provide cover for these state schools from being punished by the NCAA for NIL-related violations, including those violations that were committed by collectives. And another part of the bill in Texas in particular kind of is in regards to the 12th Man Foundation at Texas A&M, that they've implemented perks to reward donors or people that contribute to NIL, so tickets or certain different kinds of perks and compensation for these boosters and donors for contributing to NIL funds. So we got into this big discussion about it, and then today, this afternoon, the NCAA puts out a memo to member institutions of the NCAA. Stan Wilcox, the NCAA Executive Vice President of Regulatory Affairs, wrote that even if state laws allow for some specific types of NIL activity, so even if the states make their own rules, they still have to abide by the NCAA legislation. This is the direct quote. The association has been clear and maintains that schools must adhere to NCAA legislation or policy when it conflicts with permissive state laws. In other words, if a state law permits certain institutional action and NCAA legislation prohibits that same action, institutions must follow NCAA legislation. So again, trying to get out ahead as more states continue to pass this legislation to say, no, even though your state maybe says it's okay, you still have to follow the NCAA bylaws and regulations. So yeah, it's completely continues to stay completely messy, and it is out of control. But the NCAA trying to say, nope, doesn't matter what your state says, you have to follow the NCAA. So we'll see how the kind of pushback that comes along with this, and how they might continue to even punish. So if they're saying they're going to punish schools, what's that punishment look like? Because we haven't really seen a lot of punishment in regards to NIL yet. And so maybe they're trying to get out ahead of it a little bit. But wild, Cole, we were just talking about that last night, and then here comes the NCAA trying to put out a little bit of a message that says, no, you got to abide by these NCAA rules. Every time you and Greg bring up the legislation mixed with NIL, I just get lost pretty quickly. It sounds... It changes, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that's why it's hard for me to even keep up with. And I see something new. I feel like every week something comes up where a state changes something or tries to implement it. Somebody in Congress is trying to make amendments to it, but we're hoping to have some people on here on the show to kind of clear that and maybe set a little bit what's going on here at Nebraska specifically and dive into that. But yeah, it constantly changes and there's always something new. And that's why I've said this from the start, that the NCAA kind of drug their feet on this a little bit, and then it ends up being the wild, wild west. And now they're trying to put the genie back in the bottle, I guess, for lack of better words. And I don't know if that's possible, but I'm interested to see, okay, so the NCAA says, hey, no, you've got to abide by these rules, because there are rules against that stuff that I was talking about before that, about giving perks to donors or boosters for contributing to NIL, the certain things that have amended in the state legislation. Okay, so what are you going to do now? If the state continues to say, oh, well, we have these laws, we're going to abide by the state laws, what's the NCAA going to do? Is the 12th Man Foundation, Texas A&M, now going to pull back on that? Because they have talked about already kind of implementing those perks for those donors. So I don't know. I have no idea. I just, I guess it's a day-by-day kind of thing, trying to stay up on the up and up from day to day. But yeah, it is. It's absolutely wild. But I thought that was interesting that we just had that long conversation, and then this afternoon, literally that statement comes out from the NCAA that, hey, it doesn't matter what your state's doing and saying, you have to abide by these NCAA rules. All right, let's take another break and get into our final segment here of hour number one. So lots to get to here on Sports Nightly. A fun show ahead here in hour number two, so keep it right here on Sports Nightly. And buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Husker fans, mark your calendar for Sunday morning, July 16th to join the Nebraska football team in the Race for a Cure Against Pediatric Brain Cancer. It's the 11th annual Nebraska Football Road Race. This year, all runners start and finish on Tom Osborne Field in Memorial Stadium. The final 69 yards will recreate the iconic 2013 ESPY Play of the Year, when brain cancer patient Jack Hoffman scored a touchdown in the spring game. To register, go to huskers.com/road race. Sponsored by the Home Agency with support from the Lincoln Track Club.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for four, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for four, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm sports media student Connor Clark with Campus News. More than $145 million in gross revenue has been generated by startup companies, founded by alumni of UNL's Angler Agribusiness Entrepreneurship Program since the program began in 2010. With over 230 Angler Program alumni growing businesses across Nebraska, the Angler Program is making a big impact on the lives of students, alumni, and Nebraskans.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic. Nebraska fans have an opportunity to be a part of the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium in 2023 by purchasing a Through These Gate mini plan. It's a 3-game ticket package. Online right now, you can purchase those huskers.com/tickets or calling the Nebraska Tickets Office. But through these gates, Through These Gates mini plan is priced at $100 to celebrate a century of football at Memorial Stadium. It includes a ticket to non-conference games against Northern Illinois on September 16th and Louisiana Tech on September 23rd, and one of 5 Big Ten home games while those supplies last. And yeah, $100, huskers.com/tickets or call the ticket office there. Got a funny text on the text line from Carol. So Carol texted us yesterday about NIL. It kind of led to this discussion, I believe, or responded to this discussion that we had on NIL. And it said, I'm not sure, Greg referred to me as a female. It's no big deal for me. But it's assumed that my gender is female, even though my name is spelled. Carol's are spelled various ways. But I've been given the male gender ever since my Ainsworth Hospital birth in 1941, and rather doubt it will change anytime soon. Yes, my mom wanted me to be a girl and was highly disappointed when I arrived, so I was saddled with my given name regardless of gender. It'd be nice if, I'm definitely going to give Greg a hard time tonight while he's not here, and then when he gets back, I'll definitely let him know, Carol, that, he assumed that you were a female, but you were a male. But yeah, absolutely. But he also said to add insult to injury, I married a female named Sydney, which confusion of who was just compounded. So Sydney and a Carol there. And yeah, I will definitely let Greg know next time you text in that he got it wrong and to get it right the next time. But if you want to be a part of the show here, coming up in hour number 2, 402-413-2400. Cole cannot miss a chance to give Greg a hard time because he gives us a hard time all the time.
Maybe, yeah, it's absolutely justified. Especially the joke last week. Greg, and well, you did a little bit, but not as much as Greg. Greg berated me for how poor my joke was, and he's got to let things go once in a while.
Listen, I let you know that you can go up from here. I gave you constructive criticism.
That's true, and
right?
I've been pretty much all the time I spend now outside of work is constructing jokes. I'm just in my notebook writing, so I'm working on it.
Cole, it's been a week. I mean, I'm expecting a great joke at the end of this week. We're going to do Thursday night segments with Cole's joke. If you missed it, if you're just tuning in, what are we talking about? Cole debuted this segment last week, and it was he got some pretty harsh criticism from our guys in the chat on the text line, a C-, I believe, from Tim in Minnesota. So I told him we can only go up from here, and he's going to be better this week. But it's been a week, Cole. We have done a lot of interviews. We've got a lot of content coming up, a lot of great fun stuff that's coming up here over these next couple weeks while Greg and I are both in and out. But it's been crazy around here. This studio has been hopping.
It's been nuts. Especially a lot of interviews, a lot of great interviews, a lot of meeting the newest freshmen or newest transfers for a lot of programs. That's been really exciting to learn more about them. So glad we'll have those for everybody here pretty soon.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we will have Caroline Jurevicius coming up in hour number 2, one of those newcomers for Nebraska volleyball. So we've got that headed your way right after this break. And again, if you want to be a part of the show, 402-413-2400, the Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly ahead, coming up right after this.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. That's why we make trucks like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight and counting. Made for performance and capability. Made to play hard and work smart, on and off-road. That's because they're built Ford tough. So be future ready with Ford F-Series, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Husker fans, the 2023 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support celebrating the 100th year of Memorial Stadium. Purchase a special Husker football Through These Gates mini plan. For only $100, you will be at the Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech games, plus your choice of one home Big Ten game. 3 games for only $100. Tickets available while supplies last. Purchase your Through These Gates mini plan today. For more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Good evening. I'm Cole Hartman, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. The 2023 college baseball season came to a close last night as the LSU Tigers routed Florida in the Game 3 decider of the College World Series by a score of 18-4. With 7 national titles, the Tigers now hold the second most of any Division I school, breaking the tie they formerly held with Texas, and now only trail UCLA, who remains at the top of the list with 12 titles. Stepping away from Omaha and towards the happenings here at UNL, current volunteer assistant with the Nebraska women's gymnastics, Marissa King, has been named a full-time assistant coach under head coach Heather Brink's staff. King joined the Nebraska women's gymnastics program in August of last year, and in 2023 has helped NU to the NCAA Regionals appearance. Just earlier this afternoon, Big Ten Conference announced that 108 University of Nebraska student-athletes earned the Big Ten Distinguished Scholar Award. The honor highlights student-athletes who recorded a minimum GPA of 3.7 or higher for the previous academic year. The honorees came from nearly all of Nebraska's 24 athletic programs and included double-figure totals in women's track and field with 24, football with 10, and men's track and field also with 10. Former Nebraska baseball two-way athlete Spencer Schwellenbach, who was a first-team All-American for the Big Red, was selected by Major League Baseball for the 2023 SiriusXM All-Star Futures game. He will join 25 prospects on the National League roster to face off with 25 of the American League roster on July 8th at Seattle's T-Mobile Park. Schwellenbach is the 4th former Husker to play in the Futures game, joining Jamal Strong in 2001, Alex Gordon in 2006, and Jabba Chamberlain in 2007. No scores have gone final in Major League Baseball today, but several games are currently in action. The Orioles are up on the Reds 1-0 in the 4th. The Pirates and Padres are knotted at 3-3. The Giants and the Blue Jays are scoreless in the 4th. The Marlins lead the Red Sox 3-1 in the 3rd. The Brewers and Mets are also scoreless in the 4th. And the Braves are way up on the Twins 6-1 in the 2nd. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student-athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Simon gets the shotgun snap. Huskers send a corner blitz. Simon step throws. Pass intercepted. Picked off by Miles Farmer.
Go,
to
baby.
The 35, to the 30. We're up tied down to the 27-yard line. Miles Farmer's 4th career INT.
Yes!
3 eligible to the near side. Back to throw is Morgan. Stepping up, gets hit, dropped. Oh, he got drilled at the 18-yard line. Ty Robinson's 2nd sack of the year. I think he took his shoes off with that hit.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Hour number 2 here on Sports Nightly. Got a fun hour ahead. Had a fun first hour. Now we have a fun second hour coming up for you here on Sports Nightly. We're going to hear from Chief Borders and Kate Frazier, talk a little Nebraska football road race. But here to kick off the hour, we have our series of getting to know the Nebraska newcomers. You've heard a lot from the Nebraska basketball freshmen and transfer additions for both Nebraska men's and women's basketball, but we have not been able to sit down and chat with the Nebraska volleyball newcomers yet because they were out of the country in Brazil on their foreign overseas trip, and so they just got back, got settled in, and then what's kind of crazy for these student athletes here, and we're talking to a few of them in and out over this last week, is most of these teams get a week off here starting about Friday. I think most of the volleyball players are leaving Friday, and then they'll be gone for a week. And then for Nebraska volleyball, they'll come back and work camp and work dream camp. And for the football team, they get a week off before they'll get back to going to workout. So it'll be a little dead around here next week, Cole. And you and I both are taking advantage of that week off next week as well.
That's right. We're both, it'll just be Greg doing it doing it solo next week.
Yeah, but so we had to get these interviews in before they all left for the break. So we've talked to a few of them, and so we're going to start with Caroline Jurevicius. She was the first one that was able to come into the studio. The freshman outside hitter out of Ohio. Dad is Joe, who was a wide receiver in the NFL, played at Penn State, won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But Caroline, out of Ohio, freshman outside hitter, and yeah, got a chance to chat with her about joining Nebraska, her recruiting process, and what it's been like settling in with Husker volleyball. Well, let's start there. How was Brazil?
Brazil was an amazing experience. You get to learn a lot about yourself, a lot about your teammates, and how you operate when you're thrown into a situation that's pretty uncomfortable. 17 days in a foreign country it's a grind. And we had 2-a-days while we were there. We played some pretty amazing talent, but we learned a lot about ourselves as a program, and that's how we start building.
How was the competition different? Because Coach Cook kind of addressed that it was a little bit different as far as maybe some of the rules.
International ball is different in that substitutions are different. You can't have a libero serve, just little stuff like that that makes it different than the American game. But majority of the team has played at international before, so it wasn't like necessarily new. It was just a matter of refreshing on that, and it's a different ball too. And then the technique is very different. Like, it's a lot more relaxed in the international, like the other team. In Americans, it's a lot more like strength and pull through. Especially it's noticeable in the arm swing, like you wind up a lot more, whereas international it's more like snap, like a quick snap. So that was a very big noticeable difference. And then they don't have as many tall players, but they have a lot more like skill-based, defensively gifted players.
How was the food over there?
The food was really, really good. I was a little nervous about that. The fruit was probably my favorite part, and then the coffee was insane. Yeah.
It's a big coffee drinker.
I'm a big coffee girl.
I feel like a lot of the volleyball players are big coffee girls.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, how has the adjustment been? You got here in, what, January?
January,
yeah. How's the last 6 months or so been for you?
I've absolutely loved it. I've always been a pretty independent person, and getting the opportunity to go out on my own and just live by myself and take care of myself has been really, really exciting for me. And also, I love a good challenge. I love a good routine. I love getting into that. So coming here, it's been great starting to build that and also build relationships with the girls. I love it. It's great.
Before you came here, take us through the recruiting process. I mean, and I feel like with volleyball, you commit a lot earlier than maybe some of the other sports. But obviously Nebraska has one of the best programs in the country, but it's all about, I'm sure you're fit and you could have gone a lot of different places. So why did you feel like Nebraska was a place for you?
So I started getting recruited by Nebraska in the 7th grade before the rules changed. And it was a pretty laid-back process. They offered me when I was in the 8th grade, and then went to camps a few times, and then the rules changed. And the rules changed when I was in the 8th grade, and I wanted to commit right then. After that, I think it was May 30th. So then it was just like cold cut for 2 years. I wanted to commit that summer after my 8th grade year, and my parents were like, absolutely not. You need to go explore and see what else is out there. So I'm like, okay, fine. June 15th of my sophomore year rolls around, and Nebraska was one of my first calls that day. And it was just a matter of how comfortable I was with the coaches. Like, there were some coaches where I would be like pacing around the house on the phone with, like completely anxious. And then my mom pointed it out to me, like I would be on the phone with Coach Cook and I'd just be like lying on my bed, completely relaxed. And I didn't even realize, but that was just like a little subconscious response to how I love the coaching staff and how much I respond to them.
Do you think that was a good change with the rules?
I think it's a very good change. As much as 8th graders and middle schoolers like to think they know what they want, they don't. And I think it gives them time to grow up a little bit, learn a little bit more about themselves and what they want in a program. Because if you ask a 7th grader, like, what's the biggest school you want to go to, they'll say something like Nebraska. But then once they get older, they might not love the game as much or might tap out a little bit or plateau. So I think giving them time to develop into who they are and who they will be in college a little bit more is really, really important.
I asked Natalie Potts this earlier, a basketball player, but, this recruiting period just opened. The juniors that are just now, really in the last week, it's become official that they can be recruited. You went through this. What would be your advice to parents or girls that are listening in that are going through this? Because I'm sure it can be a pretty stressful time.
Do not let anybody push you around. Do not let anyone give you a timeline. This is for you. And if they're treating you like a piece of meat now, what are they going to do when you get to their program? Everything is on your time. It is important how you feel, not what the coaches push you into. It's all about you.
No, that's really great advice for sure, because I feel like it can be so much going on, but being able to manage that. Well, when you got here and you started playing beach for the first time, what was that like?
It was a very big learning curve, and I'm not gonna lie, it was really, really rough, and it was being away from home and then starting like new lifts and meeting new people. Beach was like a pretty rough time for the first 2 weeks. And then like you start to learn a little bit more, and there are a lot of different things with beach that you just have no idea about an indoor. Like, I don't know what pulling was, but now I know. And it got a lot better, and it actually got enjoyable, which, like, if you told me that the first week here, like, you're gonna like beach by the end of it, I'm like, what? But you learn, and it develops you as a player. You have to get more touches. You're forced to touch the ball every single play. So it makes you a better all-around player for sure.
Another thing you got to experience for the first time in the spring was playing in front of Husker Nation. I know it was a little bit smaller crowd, but what was that like, getting out there for the first time?
Surreal.
Yeah.
Like, you grow up watching Husker volleyball and you're like, wow, I want to be there. And then you run out of like the tunnel, which was just a high school hallway, but it was still amazing. And then just to be surrounded by the energy and that many people who just bleed red, it's amazing. And just get like chills thinking about it. It was so cool.
So then there's that, and then all of a sudden here comes the announcement that, hey, we're going to play a volleyball game inside Memorial Stadium, and oh, hey, it's sold out. What was that like when all that was kind of unfolding for you guys?
Coach told us that that was going to happen in the weight room. I remember exactly where it was, but I just like was kind of listening like, huh? Like, how is this even possible? And then they mentioned there was going to be a country concert after, so I'm like just taking it all in, and I just don't think any other program in the country would be able to do that. There's nobody that does it like Nebraska. So I think it's just amazing, and it's a true testament to how the university runs and the athletic department and the fans.
You have a unique backstory. You actually have a little bit of a football background with your dad, who was a wide receiver in the NFL, Joe Jurevicius. So were you a football fan?
I was a football fan for those teams that my dad played for. I was born in Tampa when he played for the Bucks, and then lived in Seattle, and then he finished up his career in Cleveland, where he's from. So a little hometown story right there. Finished up being captain of the Browns, and then went down with a little bit of an injury and then retired. But I grew up being around professional football players and learning how they operate. So I think that's a pretty big reason why I have like a little bit of intensity to me, just because of how I was raised with my dad and the people that I've been surrounded with in my life.
Yeah, how much did that help develop you into the athlete that you were?
I can't like thank my dad enough. I mean, the way he sees the game because of football and because of being like an all-around athlete, he can see little things in volleyball and like do unconventional training. Like, for example, I developed my arm swing when I was like 11 or 12, and I'm working on it, trying to become a better hitter. He stuffed a sock inside of another sock, and every single night I would just throw it against the wall. And then after throwing the sock for about 3 months, that's when I started getting recruited. And it was just like, okay, if you do the little things, then the big things will come. And my dad really taught me that.
Oh, that's amazing. Before we started recording, you were telling me that just how you even kind of got into volleyball was a little bit unique too. It wasn't always natural for you.
It was definitely not always natural. Growing up, I was always really, really tall. It took me a really long time to grow into my body, and I'm still learning to this day. It's a growth process. And my dad basically, my parents tried to get me into a bunch of sports. My mom ran track at Princeton too, so they're very just driven people. So got me into some sports like swimming, and swimming was probably my favorite besides volleyball. But my dad went to Penn State, and Penn State's only about 3-4 hour drive from where I'm from in Cleveland. And he would just expose me to these things, and I tried out for club one day, and then it all kind of went from there.
It's a good reminder that, hey, if it doesn't come easy for you, don't quit, right?
No, for sure.
Yeah. So, and then your dad played at Penn State. You grew up going to Penn State volleyball games. Penn State and Nebraska have had some heck of battles throughout the years. So how did you end up loving Nebraska over Penn State?
I think Penn State's an amazing program, but ultimately the way that I felt at Nebraska, it just pushed me to want to be here. Like, little side story, recruiting was extremely stressful for me, so I broke out into some face hives, like some pretty bad ones, and just like a bunch of stress hives. And then I was at Dream Team Camp 2 years ago, and that night I'm kind of like, I have an idea of where I want to go, and it was here. And I'm just like praying that night. I said, if this is where I'm supposed to be, give me a sign. I get in the car the next day, and my friend's mom looks at me and says, Caroline, your face hives are really clearing up. Maybe that's a sign. And that's when I was just kind of like, all right, so it's solidified. This is where I'm supposed to be.
Wow, what a cool story. Did I read somewhere your they're moving here to Nebraska?
Yeah, so my little sister plays club volleyball, and ultimately club in Cleveland wasn't really giving her what she needed to go try to play at the level she could. So VCN, when I took a visit in the fall, she decided just to do a private lesson at VCN. And they offered her a top contract, and she ultimately took the initiative herself, which was so mature for a 15-year-old girl to do at the time, and said, I want to give myself the best shot I can. We're just going to move to Lincoln so I can train.
How cool is that then? That they're going to be right here for you.
It's so cool because I'm so close with my family, and having them here and having the ability to go home and see them. It's not every day, but I have the option to go see them, which is great. And Ava's thriving, and my family's happy. They're moving out west in a few years anyway once Ava graduates. So Nebraska was kind of a stepping stone. It was kind of final destination for me, if you could say that, and then stepping stone for my parents to get out west, and then a launching pad for Ava.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It's got to be cool for her, too, to be able to be close to you and watch, the best program in the country right here, right up the road.
Yeah, I try to bring her around the girls and stuff like that just to show her what's out there.
That's cool. What goals do you have this summer?
Ultimately this summer, my goals are to get stronger, get faster, and ultimately start working on some serve, receive, and defense, and just try to do what I can to help the team win a national championship.
Well, man, what a great conversation.
Thank you.
You've done this a time or two, right?
I have a little bit.
Yeah, all right. Well, appreciate your time, and won't be the first you'll do here on our network, so appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
I said won't be the first, won't be the last. Obviously, she is fantastic, and like I said, we've had a lot of them come on here, almost all of them. We're going to get Andy Jackson tomorrow, but we had to record all of them because they're going to go on get a little bit of a getaway, and then they get right back to camp. And so we wanted to make sure that we had them to be able to have them on the show here in the upcoming weeks. But they are so impressive. Like, I mean, they just don't sound like freshmen. It's unbelievable. So can't wait for you guys to continue to hear from them. But appreciate Caroline Jurevicius for chatting with us. What a great perspective. Got a fascinating grasp on everything. And I've also found it interesting that this group of freshmen were the last class before the rule changed with recruiting. So we've also talked about that here recently, where with NCAA recruiting, they changed it to where you couldn't commit, couldn't go through all the recruiting process, basically the official visits, all of those, until it was June, whatever the day is in June of their junior year of high school. Well, this class right here that are coming in was when that changed. They were 8th graders when all of that changed. So a lot of them were thinking about committing, and then that rule changed. And so it's been pretty fascinating to hear that a lot of them were ready to commit back when they were 8th graders, but then when that rule changed, they couldn't until they were juniors. So again, appreciate Caroline, and we've got much more of those newcomer interviews coming up here on Sports Nightly over the next couple of weeks. Going to work in another break here on Sports Nightly, but coming up next, we're going to hear more about the Nebraska football road race with Kate Frazier and Chief Borders. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. That's why we make trucks like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight and counting. Made for performance and capability. Made to play hard and work smart, on and off-road. That's because they're built Ford tough. So be future ready with Ford F-Series, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
For a delicious dinner on the go that will please the whole family, get Hai Chai at Hy-Vee. Right now, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22 during the month of June. Get 4 one-pint entrees, 2 pints of rice or lo mein, and 8 egg rolls or crab rangoon. That's right, get a Hy-Vee Chinese dinner for 4, just $22, now through the end of June. Dine in or carry out the crowd-pleasing, award-winning Hy-Vee Chinese today. Some restrictions may apply.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Grant Hansen with Campus News. As worldwide leaders in ag technology, UNL faculty and students innovate using emerging technologies to improve yields and nutrition, and designing wireless in-field networks increasing precision in agriculture. Plus, UNL is breaking ground on a $7.2 million feedlot innovation center near Meade. UNL is doing big things for the future of agriculture.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bring even more action to your drive when you purchase your next vehicle at Woodhouse Buick GMC. Right now, you can lease the 2023 Buick Encore GX Preferred for $299 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Explore our current inventory in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. With approved credit, $999 down payment, first payment of $299 doc fee, due at signing. Must have a current GMC or Buick lease and garaging address. Offer expires 6/30/23. See dealer for details.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. UNL is the only Big Ten university in Nebraska, part of the only conference with an academic alliance. Being in the Big Ten means superior academics, unique student opportunities, better resources, and world-class research programs. With 72% of undergraduate students receiving scholarships or financial aid, UNL offers a Big Ten education at great value.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, I'm Jessica Coody, and we are less than 3 weeks out, in fact, 2 weeks away from this Sunday, from the annual Nebraska Football Road Race, which is always a really fun event around here. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit more about that. So joining me here on the show tonight, Kate Frazier, the Assistant Director of Life Skills, and Chief Borders, who is on the leadership team to help promote the event. So
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
guys for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Chief, first of all, you just got here. You've never even ran this event. How are you all of a sudden on the leadership team?
I mean, you connect and talk to the right people, and you find your way on the leadership team. That's all I can say. Shout out to Kate, man. That's all. Shout out to Kate, Life Skills, Keith, Stacy, Tom. Y'all do a great job.
How do you guys put together the people that help kind of lead the way?
So, I mean, I very much lean on the leadership team. So these have to be guys that I know that I can ask, like, hey, can you do this about once a week? And have them go out, have a good personality. Chief obviously has a great personality.
A little song.
And yes men, really, because I have to ask them to do a lot of things. And Chief, I mean, from the day he got on the Nebraska campus, from where he was before, we won't name. But he's always been like wanting to volunteer and saying yes to anything that we ask. And so I knew it was an obvious, Chief, I'm going to need you on the leadership team. And of course he said yes.
We just kind of make things work, moving things around, and, anything for the community, especially like being 6 months in, you definitely want to get your name out there and just kind of help out as much as possible. So that's the way Life Skills, get me active, and I'm proud of it.
You've jumped all in. I mean, you've gone feet first into this community.
Oh, yeah. Just, it's fun. When you put your heart into something and you get positive things back, why not keep doing it?
Love it. All right, well, the 11th annual Nebraska Football Road Race, we've talked a lot about it on this program, but Kate, for those that might not know, might be the first time hearing about this, tell us a little bit about the background of it and why you guys started this and why it's sustained for so long, 11 years now.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we all remember that touchdown run at the spring game that Jack Hoffman did about 10 years ago now, which is crazy. And so that kind of sparked the relationship between Nebraska football and the pediatric brain cancer community. And every year, I mean, we've had some different coaching staffs, and they all have bought in because the state of Nebraska really backs this cause. And really rallies people around this cause. So it's really easy to kind of team up with them, work with them to raise funds for these kids because it's a terrible, horrible disease. And it's really cool because the money goes here to the University of Nebraska Medical Center to really keep these kids with pediatric brain cancer. I don't know the real statistic off the top of my head, but I want to say Nebraska is like at least top 5 for pediatric brain cancer kids, and our population isn't as much. So being able to really keep these kids here and close to home while they're going through their treatments is super important.
These kinds of causes, how important is it for you guys as football players to be involved in and help kind of lead the way in this?
I just feel it's a blessing, just reaching out there and just becoming a Husker. I realized that how big, the football program is here. Like, the football program here is outstanding. It's beautiful. So kids love us for who we are as people and as football players. So putting that smile on their face when we come out and run with them on the road race, I just can't wait to light up somebody's day. It's gonna be great. I know there's gonna be a lot of kids. Y'all bring your sons, your daughters, everybody, bring your grandma. I want everybody out there to help support pediatric brain cancer because it is important.
Have you seen Jack's run?
You know what? I haven't.
You need to do that before
I need
the
to do
road
that.
race.
Just getting here, I think I need to do some research, and I would do that.
Yeah, it was like viral video. It was like before there was actual viral videos. It went viral. It blew up everything. I mean, so it was an epic moment.
Wow.
Here, I wasn't even here, and I remember it vividly.
Love that.
Kate, tell us about just, how much has been raised and just everything that you guys have been able to do throughout the years.
We've raised over $100,000 for pediatric brain cancer research through the years. And not only do we host this road race, but we also host, in the fall, every year we have a pediatric brain cancer awareness game. So the Louisiana Tech game this year, we will host kids with pediatric brain cancer at our stadium. They'll do a tailgate downtown, and they'll get to come to the game for free and kind of see these guys. And it's really cool to kind of, whenever I talk to the guys about these kids, they think their practices are hard. They're nothing compared to what these kids are going through. So it really gives them perspective. And really good for our guys as well as the pediatric brain cancer community.
Pediatric brain cancer is just a whole nother experience where people go through. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I just hope these kids, find a cure for their treatment and what they're going through, because, you never know what it's like to be on the other end until you actually are. So, football practices, it's tough, it's gruesome, but pediatric brain cancer is definitely life-threatening, and I want to make sure all these kids have some type of cure or some type of fund so they can, get those resources that they need.
Okay, so we have the fun run, the 1 mile fun run. That's always a lot of fun to watch, the football players. And then we have the 5K, right? Give us all the details on all of that. Are you a big runner? You're pumped about this.
The 1K, we can work that.
5K,
or
1 mile.
1 mile. Right,
Fun run.
there we go. The 1 mile, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Now, the 5K, we're going to have to prepare for that one. I don't know, but whoever picks me at the race, I'm down for it. I'm down for whatever.
Usually we don't have the football players run the 5K, so you don't have to worry about that one.
Right. So we can get it ready. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm locked and loaded for anything and everything. Let's
Please
get it.
tell me he's not in charge of the starter gun.
Yeah, no, we're going to keep that away from him. I think.
Let me be in charge. I'll make sure everybody gets on the line and gets set.
Okay, so we have the details as far as like pricing, all of that, and timing. Give us all those details.
So the 1 mile will cost $25. The 5K will cost $35. You can register online if you go to huskers.com/road race. There will be a link there that will take you to a place you can register. You can register online up until 6 p.m. on Saturday, July 15th. You can register online. Fees, though, do increase the Wednesday before that Sunday, July 16th date at 6 p.m., $5 for each. So get registered now. The races, the 1 mile will start first at 8 a.m. Somebody, maybe not Chief, will be pulling that gun at 8 a.m.
You never know. I'll put on disguise.
Yeah. And then the 5K will start shortly after the conclusion of the 1 mile, so probably around like 8:30 a.m.
And what's cool this year is they're going to get to actually finish the run on the field, right?
Yes. So
that's
this
gonna be
year, yep, we got it worked out, which is really great that we will finish on the field in Memorial Stadium, both races, the 1 mile, the 5K, and they both will actually end with a 69-yard run, which, Chief, you might not know this because you haven't seen it, but it is the amount that Jack ran in his touchdown run.
Wow.
So it'll end with that 69-yard run. You'll get to see yourself on the Jumbotron in Memorial Stadium. So
full-fledged sprinter.
Yep, with all the football players cheering you on, running with you. So it'll be really fun, really cool.
I can't wait.
And I know Jack's family's still involved, but a lot of times you're seeing these families that are coming back every year. You see kind of cool bonds that are formed between a lot of the student athletes and the football players, and that every year you see them kind of run together or hang out together. How special is that?
It's really cool. I mean, I know there was a little boy, Cam Taylor was always a big hit back when he was playing here, and he would run with this little boy, and then the next year the little boy was wearing a little number 5 football jersey and he's running with Cam again. So it's just little things like that. I mean, not only for the pediatric brain cancer community, but for just kids of the Lincoln community and the Omaha greater area community. These kids really get to kind of meet, and these awesome Husker student athletes, even more almost than Fan Day. You get to run with them and try and beat them in a 1 mile, which I'm sure you can.
Man.
So
building
it's a
that
lot of
bond,
fun.
that's gonna be very special, and I hope these kids can take that memory with them far, very far, because it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it is the coolest event where you actually get up close and personal, and they cheer you on. It's really it's a special event. But toughest question of the day: which teammate would be most likely to win a 5K?
I put money on myself.
On you, okay.
Wow.
I put money on myself.
Which coach would most likely win a 5K?
Which coach? I said Coach McGuire. Coach McGuire for sure. Coach, yeah, definitely Coach McGuire. He seems like he's in shape. And, I wouldn't doubt Coach Rule. You know what I'm saying? He definitely going to finish.
He's a competitor.
He's definitely going to finish.
All right, Chief, give us your best sell for Husker fans to come out to the Huskers road race.
Husker fans, if you want to put your money into something that is truly special and that is going towards a great cause, pediatric brain cancer, this is what it's made for. You know, this race is very special, and I want everybody there. Everybody, you know. And let's go run a 1 mile. Let's go run a 5K. Let's do it. Can't wait.
We have so many new faces like Chief, so this is a great opportunity. I mean, all of our new guys to be able to meet them. We also have the whole men's basketball team and staff will be there working a water station. They did that last year. So on the 5K race, if you're running a 5K, you also get to see that whole team as well. So coming and meeting all of our newbies and seeing old faces too is really cool.
Absolutely. Okay, one more time,
Huskers.com/road race.
There you go.
Easy enough.
Get registered today, and coming up July 16th, right here outside of Memorial Stadium, 8 a.m. for that 1 mile fun run. Following that, the 5K. All right, thank you, Kate and Chief, for spending some time with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you, Jess.
All right, we're back with more here on Sports Nightly. Coming up right after this, buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
It's time again for some Nebraska farm facts. For Nebraska soybean farmers, sustainability is a way of life. 97% of farms are family-owned, and 95% are participating in conservation programs and using sustainable practices. And they have significant sustainability goals by 2025. 10% more energy efficiency, 10% less land, and 25% less soil erosion. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there is no place that treats you like your home like Sapp Brothers. For over 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and has been a reliable partner to local farms, businesses, and Huskers fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment, and welcoming guests into our travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting student Ann Gallagher with Campus News. 26 Husker students presented research findings on nuclear deterrence to a panel of U.S. Strategic Command officials at STRATCOM headquarters in Bellevue. The student-led presentation was the culmination of a semester of STRATCOM-guided research and the latest in a years-long partnership between STRATCOM and the National Security Studies program at Nebraska.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
More Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic care first. Studies show that chiropractic is safe, drug-free, and the most effective treatment option for back, neck, and joint pain. It can also help patients of all ages reduce migraines, improve mobility, and maximize athletic performance. Keep the entire family healthy and active with natural, cost-effective chiropractic care. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corbin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
SOS to the rescue! SOS to the rescue!
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com. Anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. 402-413-2400. Still a couple more segments if you want to be a part of the show. And also want to remind you that you have an opportunity to be a part of the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium in 2023 by purchasing a Through These Gates mini plan, a 3-game ticket package that are on sale now by visiting huskers.com/tickets or calling the Nebraska Athletics ticket office. The Through These Gates mini plan is priced at $100 to celebrate a century of football at Memorial Stadium. The ticket plan includes a ticket to the non-conference games against Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech and one of 5 Big Ten home games while supplies last. So again, huskers.com/tickets or give the ticket office a call. Some sad news coming out just this evening in the last couple of hours. Former Arkansas and Michigan quarterback Ryan Mallett died today. He's 35, pronounced dead at a Florida hospital after being transported from a local beach where he apparently drowned. It's according to multiple reports. He played at Arkansas, had a big year. 2009 really burst onto the scene, and then 2010 had a really big year, threw for over nearly almost 3,900 yards, 32 touchdowns, led Arkansas to a 10-3 record, a berth in the Sugar Bowl, and a number 12 finish in the AP final top 25. And then he was selected in the 3rd round by the New England Patriots. He played 7 years in the NFL, and he returned to coaching and was currently the head coach at Whitehall High School in Arkansas, and he was preparing for his 2nd season there as the head coach. Arkansas released a statement on Twitter. We are shocked and saddened by the passing of Ryan Mallett. He was a Razorback legend with larger-than-life talent and a personality to match. He led our program to some of our best moments in recent memory. He will be missed by everyone who knew him. Our thoughts and prayers with his mother, Debbie, and his extended family. Really sad news there as Ryan Mallett passes away at the age of 35. All right, we're back to wrap up the show coming up right after this.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Husker fans, this is Matt Davison with the 1890 Initiative. You've probably heard about NIL, name, image, and likeness, and now you can have an immediate impact on the success of our programs. The 1890 Initiative is a proud NIL company in Nebraska, and with your help, we can maximize our student-athletes' opportunities with NIL and prepare them for life after college. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics. Let's do the same with NIL. To learn more, visit 1890nebraska.com, where 100% of your donation goes directly to Husker student-athletes. That's 1890nebraska.com.
It's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram season at Woodhouse in Blair. Shop now and save on our top models like the 2023 Jeep Compass lease for $349 a month for 27 months. Or save now on a 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn and get 15% off MSRP. Shop all our inventory at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com or visit our showroom off Highway 30 in Blair. This is Woodhouse with approved credit, tax, title, license extra, lease for $349 per month for 27 months, 10,000 miles per year, $19.99 down plus first payment and $2.99 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 6/30/2023. See dealer for details.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and heading for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet, too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Did get a text earlier, Cole, just now getting to it, but you have a correction to make from your ticker, right?
Yes, that's right. My bad. I said in the ticker when I was saying that LSU won the national title, they're second in the title, most titles won. That's true. I got the first team wrong, the team that's in first, which is Southern California, USC, not UCLA. Got my Southern California schools mixed up, but
Both teams will be welcoming here soon enough.
that's true. I can use that as an excuse
There you
as to
go.
why I mixed it up.
Well, I just thought I'd give you a chance to correct. I honestly didn't really know. I mean, I think we had talked about this right when the teams were added, when the announcement came that they were going to be adding, joining the Big Ten Conference. We talked about which sports we were most excited to see added, and I believe you said baseball, or did you say volleyball?
I said baseball. I mean,
Okay.
volleyball is a pretty good pick.
But you said baseball
too.
because of that very reason right there, because of the history between those teams right there. So, yeah, that'll be fun to see. Another thing I have to ask you here, because, you know, we just talked about the Nebraska football road race, again, coming up July 16th. Listen, I am not going to run it. I have bad knees. I tore both my ACLs. I will be there. I have to do interviews. That's my excuse. It always is. But, Cole, we have some people wanting to know if you will run it. And Crypto King has actually offered to sponsor you.
If there's a sponsor involved, I don't know if I could turn it down. I think I'm leaning towards running it. I'm like 90% sure that I would run it. The only problem is I haven't, and this is another, I mean, this is an excuse, but I haven't ran in a while, and you know, like the side stitches and just all the things that come with not being a everyday runner. I don't know.
Well, listen, you can't just run to run. We're going to expect you to win. If you're going to represent the Huskers Radio Network, I need you to be up there in, like, the top finishers. So you have time. You've got about 2 weeks from this Sunday. Well, it's 2 weeks from this Sunday, so you have time to train.
I mean, there are athletes running this, right?
No, they're not running. So what's neat about it is that the fun run, which is the mile fun run, you'll see a lot of the kids run, and even some of the folks that are sick might even try to do the fun run, and they'll push them in the wheelchairs or whatnot. I remember last year Ethan Piper was carrying a kid on his shoulders, helping him finish, and so it's
right.
The mile fun run's really cool. It's kind of a little bit more laid back, and it seems like a lot of kids. But the 5K, so yes, the athletes you might see them a little bit involved in the one run, but or the 1 mile run, but they don't do the 5K.
Then I'll win it, no problem.
Oh, you'll win it. Okay. There's some serious runners. I
imagine there's
Lincoln
probably...
Track Club is involved. I mean, there's some people that come that can run it pretty fast. But, I mean, I just at least expect a good showing time-wise for you if you're going to sign up and represent the HRN.
And if I'm going to go through a whole sponsorship with crypto, I'll have to represent for him. So.
Absolutely. All right. I'm going to tell him you're good to go. He's listening. So, I'll tell him to sign you up, and you better be there. Okay, you talked a little bit last night about the Jello Shot Challenge with LSU, and with LSU winning the national championship, I'm sure that number got even higher last night for celebration purposes.
I brought it up because we were going through our weekend winners, and I brought them up not because they're doing a lot of Jello shots in Omaha, but because a portion of their proceeds go to it's either the Omaha Food Bank or the Heartland Food Bank, one of those two. They ended up, they tweeted out a picture. They have like a little whiteboard, and they tweeted out a picture today. It was LSU had 68,888 total Jello shots. They're $5 a piece. And the grand total for all 8 teams, because you pick which team you want to add a tally for, the grand total was just over 95,000.
I wonder how they go about making enough Jello shots. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm sure they came into it thinking maybe getting a little bit of an idea based off of last year. But then I guess every day you see, oh gosh, but how do you not sell out of Jello shots? Those things have to sit for a while.
I want to say they did. They must have just either asked surrounding stores or made their own. I don't know.
Oh, my. I would hate to be the person having to make those Jello shots.
Yeah, I would too.
Well, what a fun show. This 2 hours just flew by. I had a lot of great guests on, and we've got more great guests coming up for you later this week. We mentioned, sat down with Gus Felder today, the director of player development, and we will have his interview coming up. What else do we got? I can't even remember. Oh, a new episode of Kicking Back with the Cooks will be dropping soon. We have a couple more newcomers. And then we'll also hear from some football. I'm thinking Thomas Fedoni might be up tomorrow. How about that?
Woo! I do like Thomas Fedoni. He's talked about seems like more than any other player on the football team between Coach Rule and all the assistant coaches. He's of high praise.
Yeah, he's, I think, pretty high expectations, and he's a great interview. So we got a chance to catch up with him when we were doing the media day, and so how about that? We'll plan on Thomas Fedoni tomorrow night for you guys, and we'll figure out what else we got. It's been a long couple of days, and we've got a lot of stuff going on, but we will we'll have a couple more great guests lined up for you tomorrow night right here on Sports Nightly. Cole, you'rethebomb.com. Thanks for helping us out tonight, or helping me out literally all day all day the last 2 days. We started at 10 a.m. yesterday, I feel like.
Yeah, something like that. Thanks to you too, Jessica.
Well,
it's a team effort.
Yes. Well, it's all for the Husker fans, right? So, again, tomorrow night, Sports Nightly, we'll have a couple more great guests lined up for you, so make sure you tune in. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and thanks for Corey, Caroline, Chief, and Kate for joining us here on Sports Nightly. Have a great night, Husker Nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
FNBO is the great big small bank. And for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with JTech Solar. JTech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. JTech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm sports media student Connor Clark with Campus News. Engineering professor Ronald Faller has been named a Fellow of the National Academy of Inventors, the highest professional honor among academic inventors. As director of UNL's Midwest Roadside Safety Facility,